Now here is an important definition. It's the definition of a discrete random variable and a continuous random variable. There are two types of random variables. A random variable basically is a variable that has a numerical outcome. So the outcome, if an outcome of the experiment is numerical, it's a measurement, it's a number, then it would be called a random variable. So let's look at problem number 11. X is the number of days last week that a randomly chosen child exercised for at least 1 hour. So we are looking at X, the variable. We are counting the number of days, so it is numerical. Now the days that a child exercised at least 1 hour could be 0 days, 1 day, 2 days, so on up to 7 days, since we're only looking at the last week or 1 week. So you cannot exercise more than 7 days in a week. So the sample space of this experiment is listable. It's also numerical. It's a count. It's a number of days. So this would be called a discrete random variable. Now in part B, we have X, which is the amount of time. So it's a measurement of time, and the units of measurement is hours. So the variable is the amount of time in hours. Time is a numerical measure, so it's a quantity or a measurement, and the amount of time that a child watches television today can be a maximum of 24 hours and a minimum of 0 hours. So it could go anywhere from 0 to 24. So that's an interval or a range of values, and we use square brackets, which means it could be a maximum of 24 and a minimum of 0 hours. Note that here we cannot list all possible outcomes. It is not listable. So this would be an example of a continuous random variable. So it's a quantity, it's a measurement, so we can call it a continuous variable. Now the next example, X is the number of television sets. So notice that the minute I say number of, it becomes count. So if I say how many television sets, it would be the number of television sets. So if I say how many, it could start with 0. So it's possible someone has no television sets in their house, so that would be 0, and then it could be a 1, it could be a 2, and so on. Notice that here we don't have a range of values. It is starts with a 0, then it jumps to a 1, nothing in between counts. All this is skipped, and then the next one is a 2, the next one is a 3, a 4. So this is called a discrete random variable. It's a count. It can be listed, although the list goes on and on. It is called a discrete random variable.